It is rather on a sad moment that we are sitting this afternoon.
This week in plenary, Parliament paid tribute to Justice Rubby Aweri Opio, the Justice of the Supreme Court, who passed away on Wednesday, 7th December 2022. During a sitting to pay tribute to him held on Tuesday, 13th December 2022, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, the Prime Minister, Robinah Nabbanja, the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Mathias Mpuga, and the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Norbert Mao, among others, laid wreaths on the casket in honor of the deceased. The Prime Minister, Robinah Nabbanja, moved the motion to pay tribute to the deceased.
Justice Rubby Aweri, whose honor we are gathered here today, was a jurist par excellence and a man of boundless intellect. Through his selfless and dedicated service in judiciary that spanned for 4 decades, Justice Rubby Aweri Opio was committed to dispensation of justice. I urge the members to emulate the dedication that the judge had, the humility, the selflessness of Justice Opio Aweri. Personally, I knew Justice Opio when he was a resident judge in Igulu and I was working in Centenary. He used to be a parent to all of us.
The late Justice Rubby Opio Aweri had an impeccable career as a judicial officer and served the bench with boundless dedication, utmost humility and commitment for nearly 4 decades. His commitment to the judicial oath greatly contributed to the strengthening of the judicial independence and the judiciary's adherence to the norms, values and aspirations of the people of Uganda.
The late served with exception and distinction, and I'm aware is one of the few that had very little backlog. That for me is an exception.
Justice Rubby Opio Aweri decried the apathy and corruption in our institutions. And as we send him off today, we owe him a better nation.
Those of us who knew Justice Opio Aweri personally were impressed by his humanity, his capacity for hard work, and his seriousness of purpose. A good judge must be able to cut through to the heart of a dispute and quickly arrive at a well-reasoned and practical resolution. Justice Opio Aweri had that rare ability.
I wish to thank Parliament of Uganda for passing this particular bill, and His Excellency the President for assenting to this piece of legislation, which is now called the Administration of Judiciary Act. Right Honorable Speaker, in death, the Honorable Justice Rubby Opio Aweri becomes the first recipient and the first test of this piece of legislation.
This country will miss a humble, gentle, very objective man. This country will need more of humble people. And humility is not weakness.
What I saw in him was something I would want all of us to emulate. The virtue of humility. Colleagues have spoken here and many will speak about these virtues. But the unfortunate thing is we leaders and other Ugandans will leave these virtues here. We will not go out and practice them. That's not a fair tribute. The best tribute we should pay to Aweri and the rest after their death and your own death is to realize your virtues, the values for which you lived.
Justice Opio Aweri, in his humility, was a giant. He was fearless. In 2019, some of us who cherish democracy, Justice Opio Aweri with his colleagues was able to order government to table the law reform for election in 1 month. If you remember, in June 2019. So I plead with members of parliament that we should remember this man to make sure that we increase funding for the judiciary. They cannot perform unless we increase funding to the judiciary. I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
I therefore adjourn the House. And in case we don't meet before Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas. But I adjourn the House and dine.